As fall transitions to winter, there is nothing better than cozying up with a comforting home-cooked meal, especially when HelloFresh makes it so easy. Get up to 14 free meals plus 3 free gifts with code FACE14 at HelloFresh.com/FACE14. HelloFresh.com/FACE14. Hello and welcome to another episode of this podcast called Face. Geoff, Gavin, Andrew. How's everybody been the last 8 seconds?
Great.
That might be the shortest time. Oh shit, my audio. It might be the shortest time between recordings we've ever had. Oh, if I start a new file, it starts repeating myself in my own ears, and I got confused.
I don't know how it happened. I don't know how episode 79, by the way. I don't know how it happened. But we just ended the podcast and I felt great. I was like on top. I was like, oh, I got my energy back. I had some Gatorade. I'm feeling good. Yeah. And then the second we started this podcast, it went away. Now I'm
really?
No,
do it a different day then.
No. We gotta get through it. Next week's Thanksgiving. We got to do this.
It's Thanksgiving for one day and then Black Friday. There's still a whole week before that.
Okay, you're making yourself available. Is that what you're saying?
Next week, I'm available.
Mm-hmm. Is Nick and Eric?
I can, yeah, I'm good. You guys want to do Tuesday? I mean, we're already recording, so I don't know why we would stop.
What are we doing? Here's what we should do. Let's record.
Reschedule the one we're in the middle of.
What do you mean?
Let's record next week as well.
Oh.
Okay. Well, I assumed we were going to record next week anyway.
I assumed we weren't because it was a holiday week.
I also assumed we weren't.
Oh, okay.
But you know what the problem here, Eric? You and Nick and I are the Americans.
You know what?
Thanksgiving means shit to these two.
Yeah.
I still barely know what it is.
It's our second biggest holiday.
I celebrate it. I'll have a turkey going on Thursday, the mashed potatoes and everything.
That's awesome.
You have to. If you watch sports, you have to, because I got sick of also just on social media, you're seeing turkey all day and you feel left out. You need to have it. Even if I didn't work for an American company, I would be celebrating this because it's just, you can't, there's only so much turkey you can have shoved in your face without having it. It ruins my day. Lack of cranberry sauce on Thanksgiving, no mashed potatoes. It's like it's fucking ruined. There's no replacement.
Do you get it in that can and it sloughs out?
No,
like a cylinder?
No. I'm making my own cranberry sauce. You don't make your own cranberry. You gotta make your own.
Oh,
yeah.
What, you actually buy cranberries?
You buy cranberries, you put them in the pan, they start popping. Oh,
you put them in a glass of water, you eat them in the bath.
When you have your 5-star meal in my bathtub, I'm going to get a candle for you. I'll make you some fresh cranberry sauce. It's going to be a great time.
You put on your favorite you put on your favorite Dolphins fight song.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's the Chicago Bears if you want to support your rookie, and you just pop a few in your mouth.
Somebody needs to. The coach isn't helping. Someone needs to support Justin Fields. He has no offensive line.
I got a thing about that too. That's talk about stuff not being evergreen. First off, here can I just at the top hit a couple of notes just so I can feel like I made some progress on my stuff.
Please.
Number one, here's the first thing I wrote down. Let's all record our farts and then see if we can tell them apart.
Oh, I can't do them.
You can't fart?
Well, they're just really quiet. They're never. I'd have to have a microphone in my colon to get any sound, I think.
I'm not opposed to that. If we need to do it, I'm about to do a whole colon thing tomorrow. I can pick up some pointers from the doctor about inserting cameras and shit. I think it would be fun. We get everybody farts. We label it with some random name so we don't know who it is, and then we mix it up, and then we give it to Nick or somebody, and I would like Nick to be a part of it actually. So we give it to somebody who's outside of the episode, and then we listen to it. And we all see if we can get it right. I think it could be fun.
Okay,
Gavin, if you can't fart, that'll in itself you'll be easy to figure out because you'll be the one that goes.
Maybe I'll eat 2 tins of beans and see what I can work up.
The Fiber One bars. I'm telling you, get some Fiber One bars going. You'll get a fire. Oh, you'll be going.
Eric said good name. Gavin, you didn't get credit for that. I might have missed it. What was the name?
Wheel of Fortune.
That's a great.
Oh, that is
Wheel
a
of
great
Fortune.
Name.
That is a great name. Wheel of Fortune.
That's a fantastic name. I was trying to conjure a fart during the Cosmic Crisp review the entire time as a protest move, and I just couldn't. It wasn't.
You were gonna fart in the middle of us eating apples. You're an animal.
I was trying really hard. It was the only thing I could do. It's the only weapon I had, and I couldn't build it in time. The bomb was not ready. I should have went in prepared.
Oh, you know what I think we should do while the Cosmic Crisp apples still exist at RT?
Yeah.
I think, and then Andrew, obviously, actually, maybe we should wait till you're able to get one. But the day you get a Cosmic Crisp, I think all of us, Nick and Eric included, should put a Cosmic Crisp apple in our fridge in the back, and then we all agree to pull it out 365 days later and eat it.
Yep.
I think we got it. We got to test. We got to test the longevity of the apple. It's one of their major bragging points. It's one of the major selling points about that apple.
What about when this winter all of my power goes off for 4 days? What do I do then?
You'll be fine because it's 20 degrees outside when your power goes off. The apples will be... I'll take it out of the fridge and put it outside. It'll be fine.
Okay.
Wait a second. You're the guy that was giving me shit about refrigerating my apples. Did you just ask me what would happen if you were not able to refrigerate an apple? Is that what just happened?
I'm saying if I'm like 10 months in.
Is that what just happened?
Am I like fridge locked to it?
Oh, so at what point does it become acceptable to like refrigerate an apple, according to you?
Well, no, my only point was I don't buy enough apples to need to store them that long.
Yeah.
I'll just eat them as they're out.
And it feels weird to eat a cold apple versus a room temperature apple.
Yeah.
I agree. But the selling point of that, this is irrespective of Gavin and whatever we agree or disagree with in him. The major selling point of the Cosmic Crisp is that it lasts up to a year in a fridge. So I want to see that. I think we need to test it.
I agree. No, I completely agree. I think it's a great
idea. So the day you get your hand on a Cosmic Crisp, let us know and we'll figure it out on this end.
I just really want to find out if the 8 rating stands for an apple you've eaten.
Yeah, I do too.
We'll find out. Let me see if I can. I'll check right now. I don't think I'll be able to order one, but there's a website. It doesn't matter. Anyway, continue. Sorry. What other notes do you have, Geoff?
Man, I got so much. I realized we had a comment leaver, a regulation listener named Ben Davis, who's really awesome. He's very communicative on social. Who made a really cool action figure of me in a porta potty that I want to show you guys at some point. That I think I should have talked about last episode.
It's amazing.
You've seen a little bit of it. That's really cool. I also wanted to show you guys. I got a really, really cool baseball card out of a random ass drop the other day, and I was so blown away by it that I wanted to show you guys immediately, but I figured it'd be better to do it on camera. This is a baseball card I legit pulled from a pack I bought at a baseball card shop the other day. Didn't know this card existed.
It's cool. Oh, the Boys of Zimmer.
The Boys of Zimmer. It's
oh my God.
Ryan Sandberg, Andre Dawson, and Greg Maddux. These would have been Chicago Cubs like in the probably 1990, 1991. And I was so blown away. I thought it would be fun for us. We need to remake this baseball card with us and sell it as a poster. Boys of Zimmer.
Which one would you be? Geoff, you'd have to be in the middle. I think I would
like to be Andre Dawson, if I'm being honest with you. He is all those guys are Hall of Famers, but Andre Dawson's the coolest motherfucker. And he's got a cool pose.
I want a bat. I want to hold the bat.
All right, Andrew's the bat. Andrew's Ryan Sandberg.
I'm Greg Maddux, and I'm just holding my own hand, looking. It looks
like you're holding your dick, dude.
And I'm also looking at the others.
What you're doing is you're covering your phone. You have just received a text from Geoff, and you're affectionately looking at how great the text was.
That's what
I'm doing. I'm really excited to respond.
Anyway, just a little thing, but fucking very, very cool. I thought that I would share that with you guys. Don Zimmer continues to make his presence known in our lives weekly. Despite the fact that the man is dead.
Did he coach all 3 of them?
I guess he must have, yeah.
What a weird... What? Did he coach all... No, he coached 2 of them, and one of them never met him. It's the Boys of Zimmer card. What are you fucking talking about? Maybe the dumbest question I've ever heard you ask.
2 of them were his players, the other was just a Zimmer fan.
No, but it might be like they're an organization and I don't know, one person knew him. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, the baseball team, the Zimmers, everyone's favorite. These are the boys. Do you think these are his sons, Gavin? Like, what are you asking? Did they play for him? What did you say? Was it play or even know? Did they know him? Had they met Don Zimmer? The fucking Boys of Zimmer card.
So you're putting that up there, top 3 dumbest questions on the Face podcast, do you think?
I'm not saying overall. I'm saying it's one of the dumbest questions I've ever heard you ask on the show.
I'm just surprised his face isn't on there. That's mainly it. I'm just like, what do these people have to do
he's
with
not a boy of himself. Why would he be on the... These are the Boys of Zimmer.
Boys of me. They're not his sons.
What the fuck? Like, it's a Teletubby. You want fucking Zimmer's head in the top right, just looking down on them? Like, what do you want? Where's Zimmer in this card?
It's just expecting a lot. It's expecting every single person who sees that to know who Don Zimmer is.
Sure. But what are you? I don't know how to reply to that. I got so many issues with that statement. I don't know where to begin. You're buying baseball cards.
In the world of baseball, Don Zimmer is so famous that simply putting the Boys of Zimmer on a card, instantly every baseball fan on earth knows who they're talking about.
I don't think there's a single person, Gavin, who knows who the guys on the card are who would then not know who Zimmer is.
Yeah.
It's like a baseball card. It's like a baseball card that just said the Boys of Baker, and it was a picture of 3 hands.
If it was Dusty Baker, that would make sense.
Would it?
Well, if it was 3 Houston Astros, I guess.
Okay. But they were called the boy. It was a whole. I think you're taking the boy thing is where it's really thrown you, Gavin. It's like that's what they were called. It was the Boys of Zimmer. The whole.
Yeah,
I think
fine.
the team was because the tape, that VHS that we're gonna watch, isn't that called like the Boys of Zimmer as well?
I think so. Yeah,
I believe it was.
And it's like a playoff,
I'd
the
still like
Boys
to
of
watch.
Summer, right?
Yeah.
Other little one I just threw up. It's just a picture of Humpty Dumpty that I ran into when I was in Detroit. I had a whole Apple weekend. I kind of covered it in the supplemental episode, so I don't need to go through it again. But I couldn't remember if I shared that creepy ass fucking Humpty Dumpty with y'all or not. But it definitely stuck out to me. Once again, Humpty Dumpty also. Don Zimmer, Humpty Dumpty, they're everywhere in the world. You just don't realize it till you open your eyes.
See, that would make sense. The Boys of Dumpty and 3 eggs, everyone would know who that was. What's wrong, Eric? What don't you get?
The Boys of Dumpty?
Well, it's the same format.
I don't know.
It's a global name.
Guess who just got back today? The Boys of Dumpty that had been away.
Jesus.
And I'd also be wondering their connection to Dumpty himself.
How are they affiliated?
Like, were they in the same packet of eggs?
Were they also cannons?
Yeah, were they cannons?
Were they muskets?
That's where my confusion is, because we talked about how Humpty Dumpty wasn't necessarily an egg, and so your
look at that
thing
picture
is
and tell me that.
it would be an egg, but then he wouldn't be on there as an egg, but we know he's a cannon, so it's just 3 eggs, and it says Boys of Dumpty.
I just don't think it's a strong format.
I agree. If the first thing we saw was Boys of Dumpty and 3 eggs, I would say this format's incredibly weak.
This is so funny. I feel bad about the last episode. Oh, God.
What? Do you think, Gavin, did somebody have to sit the eggs down? Did someone have to sit the boys down and explain what happened to Humpty? It was a tragic accident. We tried. We could not put it back.
3 sad eggs. Oh.
I'm also deeply alarmed by the slushy flavors in that photo. What the fuck is a blue raz? What is a blue raz?
Well, blue slushies are raspberry flavor, aren't they?
But what?
It's like the universal slushy color for a raspberry to differentiate from straws.
Really?
I think so.
Okay. Well,
Like
I think
a blue
this is just,
slush puppy.
I never would associate that as like a raspberry. Huh.
You wouldn't?
No, it's just blue.
Yeah.
It just tastes blue. It has a blue taste.
I mean, you know it's all based on a fruit, right? What fruit would you think?
I would assume blueberry. If you're going blue, like typically you make the color match the fruit that it is, not the other way.
But does anyone really, on the tip of their tongue, know what a blueberry flavor tastes like?
Yeah, I love blueberry. What are you talking about? It's a top
I'm a big
fruit.
blueberry fan too. It's up there.
I mean, I'm a fan. I like the flavor. It's just not, you can't like pluck it from memory as easy as a strawberry.
I don't even know what you're saying at that point. I don't
Like the
I don't know
memory
how to
of
argue. The memory.
Like it doesn't remember well.
What does that mean?
What? What?
Does it remember well?
Like, what does a dragon fruit taste like? Do you remember?
I've never had one.
I don't think
never
I've ever had
tasted
one.
it.
Okay,
Yeah.
bad example.
There's not a single fruit that I've had that I couldn't like remember what it tasted like.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I'm with Andrew on that one. Yeah.
Oh shit.
You have fruit forgetfulness.
It's only a little bit. Like if I ate one, I'd be like, that's definitely a blueberry. Like if I ate one blindfolded,
Right, you would recognize
it.
it.
If I drank blueberry flavor, I don't think.
Oh, I didn't mean to send the. Sorry, continue.
So, okay, Gavin, if we're making a poster that said the boys of berries, what berries are you putting on? What are your berry types?
Well, strawberry and raspberry are in, and probably banana.
A banana is a berry. I remember that was a crazy. Banana's still chalky. I will stand to that.
Nah,
It has a
you're wrong.
chalky texture.
You got bad banana memory.
You don't even have
You
fruit
do.
memory. I can't trust anything that you say about what fruit tastes like. You don't remember.
They're not chalky. Chalky,
You lost-
chalky to me is like almost like powdery in terms of texture and taste.
I don't know. I'm telling you how it is. And I think is the highest ranked Halo Infinite player here. I think my opinion stands above yours. What are you, gold 4? As a diamond 1, okay? I don't want to your fruit opinions are wrong, and I will hold to this.
What's the correlation between fruit and Halo?
It's just rank, Geoff, as you brought up, it's a military ranking in the past, so I just feel like I hold a higher standing. In an argument, I'll pull rank. I'll pull Halo rank, regardless of how relevant it is.
Full Halo rank. You gotta be careful of that because Gavin could get himself promoted real quickly. If
There's no way Gavin's ever gonna pass me in Halo rank. There's a 0% chance.
It could happen. I could play with some good people. They could track me up.
I don't know about that.
Maybe some of Jeff's new friends.
Yeah, wait till I find my new friends. You can play with them. Then they won't be my friends anymore. They'll leave me for you.
Hey, do you want to play Halo tonight?
Yeah. With you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andrew?
Are we doing ranked or like what are we doing?
Do some ranked.
Ranked. Huh?
Face plays Halo.
I like that.
I like that.
One thing I would like to add before we move on, just because he did such a great job with it, I wanted to send this poster or this picture of the accessories been made to go along with this action figure, including an iced coffee, 4 different hands so that I can have different hand articulations, a butterfly net to catch apples with, and then a fishing pole.
So I've been getting updates on this, Geoff, for like a year at this point.
A lot of people
I've
have
seen
apparently.
piece by piece, yeah, and it is amazing. And then seeing it all come together, it is wonderful. I love the porta potty photo shoot. It's perfect.
Yeah, he shot
It
it in
turned
the
out
real
amazing.
porta potty. Yeah, because
How did he do it though?
Well, I think talent.
Yeah, but it's
he
like
works,
how many different talents do you need to do that?
So he works in the film industry in England, and he is in like art department. I'm not exactly sure what his and he told me, but it's hard to remember the particulars. But he is in the art department. He does a lot of graphic work. He does some physical work, and then he I guess is real tight with all the other people in the art department, and they do this kind of stuff for fun occasionally. And so he got some other people to make maquettes and it's the craziest thing about it is I took my clothes off. I got a dick and it's not bad. It's like a real dick. And,
It took me.
do you guys want to see my dick? I'll show you.
No, I think I'm good.
No, I want to see.
And he's in the fucking Don Pedro shirt. All my tattoos are there, physically the real tattoos, which is insanity.
Is my nose on there?
I believe so, yes. I'm excited about taking this photo of my fucking cock. All right. It's so dumb. You pull your little pants back up, Jeffy. Pull your little pants up there. Stuck on your butt. Okay. There we go. So stupid. It's like a real doll. Well, TBD. I'll let you know how it
What?
looks. If
What?
Eric said it's like a real doll, so I said I'll let you know how it fucks. Here you go.
No,
Not actually going to have sex with it, but there you
yeah. Oh,
Oh God, there's pubes on it and balls.
I got a bell. I've got a bell in.
You're circumcised.
I am circumcised. I got a dick.
I can't
Thanks,
wait.
man.
Why did he put that detail?
Well, I'll tell you something else, Gavin. Our artists are an interesting bunch. Did you know that this is years and years and years ago at the day job, we had an online comic called RT Comics, and another Canadian guy named Luke McKay, he drew it, and then my ex-wife wrote the comics, and Luke would draw us. It was all the RT characters and like, you know, whatever scenarios that she wrote for them. He drew our dicks under every pair of pants. Every time he drew anybody from our company, he drew a dick before he put the pants on. He showed me in Photoshop layers. He's like, when I put the books together, you know, because we had like 5 books, he would show me. He'd be like, "Hey, you want to see your dick? There it is." Every fucking time he drew any of us from the knees up, they had a dick the entire time.
How was the detail?
It was commensurate with the rest of his art. You know, so similar in vein and style.
That's interesting.
I can't wait for Jack to look at these images without context. That's gonna be a good one.
We should start having Jack record like 1-minute summaries of the episodes, but he hasn't listened to them yet. And put them as like next week on Face.
Oh, how about this? Do you guys think we need some sort of a hand signal or handshake? Because I came up with one.
Well, I feel like that was, we talked about that, right? Like we're going to invent the next, that was the whole thing we discussed.
When did we discuss that?
That was like 2 episodes ago, like around the Dusty Baker thing, which kind of led into the high five different things of like a long distance and new version of it.
I guess that must have been why it was rattling around in the back of my head. And it hit me the other day. I think I came up with something.
We asked people to send them.
Okay, well, I came up with one of my own. Did anybody send any?
There was one that I think was like called the belly flop or something, or it was like both hands downward. I want to say this is a few weeks ago at this point, so it's not clear. It's not fresh in my mind, but I'm excited to see yours.
Nothing of note.
I think I'm going to film it right now just because it's easier to show you guys. So let me put my video. I'm going to record. We starts with a baseball bat, choke up, swing into an apple, and then you take a bite out of it.
It sounds
Boom.
like you're just doing a TikTok dance.
No.
I feel like I just heard a TikTok dance.
There's no dancing going on. Let me just... Can I get that up on the...
Let's watch this be too big for Discord.
It's going to be too big for Discord. So I'm holding my hands like I'm holding a bat. Is that phase 1?
Yeah, phase 1 is the bat.
Okay. So are both people doing this, or is one hand of each person?
No, you just do it when you see somebody. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to watch this now.
I don't know. Where's the high five part?
There is no high five.
What are we... What was that? Well,
it was a hand signal.
Okay, a hand signal. Got it.
Yeah,
okay.
I didn't say anything about a high five. I just said that we need like a handshake or a signal. You know,
maybe if you do that into a crowd of people and anyone does it back, they know that you're a facer.
They know that you're
a regulation listener.
Like NBA players when they go out onto the court, they do like 75 different wacky hand sign like handshake thing, and they like touch their toe and then touch their elbows and do a cool thing. I thought it'd be cool if we had our own version of it.
Okay.
And I think it hits baseball because we used to be a baseball podcast, and then it hits apples because we are an Apple podcast. And so I thought it's a combination of the old and the new.
I feel like it's a universal sign if you're a boy of Zimmer or not.
You got to be careful. It's that like the only area you got to worry about is when you're making the apple sign with your hands. You got to be careful you're not making one of those anime hearts that everybody loves to do, because it's not. It's an apple. We're not taking a bite out of a heart. We're taking a bite out of a big apple.
Okay,
I just don't think I've ever taken a bite out of an apple that I'm holding with both hands.
I need both hands to make the apple. The representation of the apple. Why do you have to be difficult?
Do you?
Yeah.
I feel like you could just
otherwise you just have a half an
with
apple
one hand. I feel like you got to like pretend that you're like rubbing it off on your shirt, and then
no. Well, now that's interesting. Rubbing it off on your shirt is interesting. I do think though, if you start with part 1, the swing, you swing. That if then if you just come with one hand and you make like a half circle, it just looks like you've got a baseball now because you've just hit something with a baseball bat. I think the apple sells it.
So you're saying that the second hand differentiates a baseball from an apple?
Yes, the second hand differentiates a baseball from an apple. Thank you.
I will say, I think if you just show a photo to people of you doing your apple gesture, I don't know how many of them would say that you're making an apple with your hands.
Well, that's because it's designed to be viewed fluidly as a video. It's not a static thing.
Do you have an Apple shirt on?
I do have an
does.
apple shirt on. Yeah.
So have you been more into apples or cider? Like, what was that trip mainly about? Was it about, I guess you're not drinking like alcoholic cider.
No, that trip was my yearly apple trip. And it's honestly, it's about two things. Three things. It's about cider, fresh, hot cider on a cold day. It's about apple cinnamon donuts, like these hot apple cinnamon donuts you get in Michigan. And it's about sliced apples with caramel drizzled on it and nuts. That's what I always get when I go. Those are like the big three things. But it's like an apple orgy, dude. Andrew would lose his fucking mind. It's insane.
It's in Detroit?
It would be
Where
like
is it?
Shangri-La outside of Detroit. Yeah, like in Grosse
Okay.
Pointe, that area. Yeah, there's apples. There's cider mills everywhere, and it's just like apples for days.
Huh.
Yeah, it's really cool. That's where I got the shirt from.
Is there like is there like a Days of Summer type thing, but with apples, just touring like different parts of the U.S., getting the apples as they ripen across the season?
I think that's a great idea.
Maybe that's like a journey I go on, fully embrace the apple lifestyle.
I think there's a lot you could learn from it. For instance, I have a bunch of apple facts I could throw out.
Ooh.
I'd love an apple fact.
Did you know that apples are the second most valuable fruit in the United States? Oranges are the first. These are there were a bunch of apple signs, and I just took pictures of all of them at the cider mill so I could tell
Sounds
you
like
this.
a top tier fruit.
Johnny Appleseed Chapman brought a small variety of apples from Europe. He spent his life planting apple trees across America. Who cares? Don't care about him. Here we go. The most beautiful apples are known to grow in the state of what? The most beautiful. We're talking just apple beauty.
Beautiful.
Where are the most
beauty.
beautiful? There's a little bit of apple trivia for you, Andrew. Let's see.
Maine.
All right, Gavin's answer is Maine. Andrew, where do you think the most beautiful apples in America are grown?
I'm gonna say they're gonna keep it. It's a humble brag. They're bragging about themselves. I'm gonna say Michigan.
Michigan. All right, and Eric, your answer is Washington. Nick, do you want to weigh in here? Do you care?
I mean, Washington have like the organization, don't they?
The answer is Washington. Yeah, the most beautiful apples are known to grow in the state of Washington. However, the most flavorful are in the eastern states. While Washington ranks number 1 in producing apples in the United States at nearly 60%, New York, believe it or not, is number 2 at 11%. Michigan is a distant third with 8%.
Cosmic Crisp apple is from Washington. That is correct. Eric was asking. It is.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
from
a
Washington.
Washington apple.
Those are my apple facts.
I learned that like the Granny Smith apple was made accidentally. I learned that the other day. One was just like throwing apples out her window and accidentally made the Granny Smith apple.
Wait, what?
The inventor of the Granny Smith apple accidentally made it. She was throwing crab apples out her window and they lived on like an orchard and it just happened to mix with a different type of apple and it created the Granny Smith apple. Complete accident.
That brings up a question I have.
What's so funny about that, Gavin? She died 2 years later. She never even got to live in the world of the Granny Smith apple.
That she
Was her
created.
last name Smith?
It was her husband's last name, and they both died 2 years later. And then somebody bought the orchard and was like, "I'll just call them Granny Smith apples," and then they became super famous.
What a sweet homage.
Yeah.
If they didn't realize what they'd come up with, though, why would it be a memorable story?
What do you mean? What are you asking? Sorry.
Yeah,
Like,
what are you asking?
Did they know the success of the apple? Was it
Okay, so she made the app. She would like make apples and apple pies and like sell them. And then she made this apple that was like, holy fuck, this is a good apple. People like this apple. It's a great baking apple. She had some success with it. And she had somebody come in and like characterize and be like, yeah, this is a new species of apple. She started growing it. Then she died. Then her husband died like shortly after. And then somebody just bought the orchard and just mass produced them. So she never got, like the person that created the Granny Smith apple has no real awareness of how popular it became. It didn't become like a huge success until after the guy bought everything.
So what if we just took every single known apple and had like a big food fight with 100 people throwing these apples? Would we potentially make an apple in the middle somewhere?
I don't.
This is where I wanted to take this. That is phenomenal, Gavin. That's a great idea. I want us to make our own apple.
Okay.
Why not? Why not? That was a note I had written down, and I'm seeing you birth the idea in front of me. That's exactly what we need to do. I think we could do with a little bit more intent, but I love the random nature of it. But like the Cosmic Crisp was invented in our lifetimes, so why can't we invent the facer or whatever we call it?
The regulation apple.
Regulation apple! Oh, it's like it was meant to be. A regulation apple. That's what everybody needs. Then you know out the gate what you're getting. Oh, we've got to invent it. Oh, we have to invent an apple that's regulation.
So what are the requirements for crossbreeding? Do we need like one seed from one? Like, how does an apple make a baby?
I feel like, from what it sounds like, we just need a viable window. We just need a good window to throw some apples out of.
Are we going to get into splicing?
I think you have to splice it.
I mean, Granny Smith didn't.
Granny Smith did not splice.
It sounded like she just had a lawn full of rot that made an apple.
Yeah, it sounded like Granny Smith's backyard trash can just yielded unexpected results. Anyway, well, we'll look into it, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how to make an apple, but I think we could invent one. And then when we invent our own apple, here's where we go with it, right? So we invent the apple, takes the nation by storm, eventually the world, hopefully. Then we follow up with it. We already working on it in the background because it's going to take a while. Then we follow up with our our badass hot cider, whatever that is, regulation cider. And people love cider. Great on a cold day. We can make, some people can mix booze with it if they're into that thing. I see a lot of potential for us here.
I apologize if we've already covered it. I feel like we led into this episode and then haven't actually touched on the thing. You wanted to create an unscrumpable bag. I feel like this also ties into that.
Well, yeah, that's why I asked earlier before I dove into that. I said, are we going to continue with apples or should I peel it back? Peel it back. Should I peel it back?
Right.
Because I don't want to dump a lot of energy on the apple front if it's not a direction that the podcast is headed. You know, I don't want to just I just don't want to sit and retread old ground. Because there's a whole world of apples out there I was not aware of. Did you guys know there's black apples?
I've never heard of a black apple.
No.
Yeah, let me find
I also saw people posting pictures of an apple that's like red on the inside. It's like pinkish.
I did
flesh.
see that.
I want to try that one. That looks good.
I also want to try it. Yeah, look at this. This is going to freak you out. It's a little freaky. Interest. Oh, that's Apple Watch. Here we go. Copy. This is
I'm
called.
waiting for Geoff to just send his action figure dick again. I don't expect
Hey,
an apple.
I warned you I was sending you my action figure dick. I didn't just throw it at you unannounced. Okay, boom. There you go. That's what a black diamond apple looks like. Costs about $7 an apple. They're expensive. Wonder what they taste like.
It looks like you're looking into space.
It looks like you're looking into space.
Should we have a rare apple taste?
Well,
video?
we're gonna need apple experience if we're gonna invent the next apple.
Yeah. Like, what if our apple was black also?
It could be. It really could be.
It would match our color palette for the podcast.
That's an excellent point. Oh, I wonder if anybody's ever been able to design an apple that has the logo branded in it as it's being grown. Like, could we grow an apple that already says regulation apple on it?
You grow an apple that knows English.
Well, I don't know much about apples yet, but I like the black diamond apple so far. Yeah, it's beautiful. It looks like a galaxy kind of. Anyway, there's a whole world of apples out there. If that's a direction we want to continue down, if we've already beaten the audience over the head with apples for too much, then I don't want to do it. But I think that there's a lot of potential.
Maybe it's something to like come back to. At some point,
I think we got to go into the lab.
I feel like we could definitely make if we got Eric to get a selection of maybe 6 rare apples in a nice foam case again, and we'll have Andrew watch. We could definitely do a nice new tasting. Give our reviews of each one.
That's a great idea.
Eric says already working on it. Ooh.
It's a great idea.
I think I could buy some black apple seeds.
You don't have to grow the freaking tree every time.
Well, it's just I can't see any way else to get this apple. I want this apple.
I already said I'll fly you here. I'll use Betty White's money.
We got we got about $650 after taxes.
That's true.
Burning a hole in our pocket.
I really want to win the Betty White contest.
I want you to.
It's already over now by the time this comes out.
It is. It will be known if we were picked or not.
We all shop online. I do it, more than I probably should, multiple times a day. And we've all seen that promo code field taunt us at checkout saying, there are savings to be had. You just have no access to them. But thanks to Honey, manually searching for coupon codes is a thing of the past. Honey is a free shopping tool that scours the internet for promo codes and applies the best one it finds to your cart. It's doing a lot of work for you. Honey must really love you. Honey supports over 30,000 stores online. I've tried my best to shop at all of them. I'm getting close. These range from sites that have tech and gaming products to popular fashion brands, that's me, to even food delivery. That was me saying, because of food. Here's how it works. Imagine you're shopping on one or many of your favorite sites, and when you go to checkout, the Honey button will drop down. It does it all the time. It's very convenient. And all you have to do is click Apply Coupons. Wait a few seconds as Honey searches for coupons across the entire internet, and then all the ones that it finds, if it finds them, boom, throws it on there, and you watch the prices drop. So I've decided to put a moratorium on the story about the paddle boards. I'm never going to tell it again. I did save money on them. However, I'm trying to be current. I'm going to give you guys the things that I've been saving money on lately, and I've been saving a lot of money lately. However, it's all bid on Christmas presents. So I'm not gonna spoil Christmas by saying exactly what I've purchased over the last couple days and received benefits from Honey. But I will say that there was a kitchenry site and maybe an online book retailer and a couple of other places that I have found some pretty hefty discounts on, thanks to Honey. I'll tell you about it in January after the moratorium on Christmas is over. As a matter of fact, Honey has found its over 17 million members more than $2 billion in savings. That's the amount of money that Kendall tried to buy Logan Roy out of the family business for last night on Succession. Crazy. If you don't already have Honey, you could be straight up missing out on free savings. It is literally free and installs in a few seconds. And by getting it, you'll be doing yourself a solid and supporting this podcast. I'd never recommend something I don't use, so get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/face. That is joinhoney.com/face. It's the giving season, everybody. That's right. The holidays have approached. They are upon us. And it is time to show your family and friends that you care about them in a meaningful and memorable way. And what better way to do that than with a clean butthole? That's right. Hello Tushy bidets tick all those boxes. Are you buying for a family member? They need a bidet. Are you buying for a friend? They need a bidet. Everybody, tall, short, old, young, they all need bidets. We've all got the same butthole. It's the great equalizer. And with the Hello Tushy bidet, you can wash your bum with fresh water for a way better clean than toilet paper, and that is true. You simply spray and pat dry. Attaches to your existing toilet with no electrician or plumber needed. Those people are expensive. Well, they're experts, and they should be paid for their work, but they are expensive, and they are unnecessary when it comes to a Tushy bidet. It cuts down on your toilet paper use by 80%. Think about the toilet paper money you're going to be saving. You could buy a boat. Make the restroom your best room with the complete Tushy system, including the Tushy bidet attachment, ottoman, toilet brush, and Tushy stand and tissues. There's enough Tushy products to fill a Christmas tree. Join the millions of happy Hello Tushy customers right now who take care of their Yule logs the dignified way. Give the gift of a clean bum to yourself or the ones you love this holiday season and get 10% off plus free shipping right now at hellotushy.com/face. Tag us and at Hello Tushy on social media so we can celebrate your clean butt. That's hellotushy.com/face for 10% off and free shipping. Can I tell you guys a funny, embarrassing thing that happened to me yesterday?
Is it about your bike?
Well, sort of, yeah. So I got bike problems.
You gotta get into the bike stuff.
All three of my bikes are down. Actually, my bike is back up, but it's been a whole thing. I'm currently in the market. I'm currently shopping for a new bike right now. Okay. But yesterday I did go for a bike ride, and I've been having a problem with I guess like butt rash, sore butt from riding my bike too much. It's a common thing. And to combat it, some audience members recommended I buy some of those. I don't know what they're called, but those little bike shorts that it's like a diaper sort of, but it's like padding on your butt, like it's around your gooch and your butt, but it makes you have like a big dumpy bubble butt. The other day, yeah. So I bought a couple pair, and they're great. They actually work very well, and so I wear them every time I go on a bike ride. And the other day, I came home And like as I was coming home, like the mailman was there and I needed to sign for something, and then the dog needed to go to the bathroom, and then I realized like, oh shit, I need to go buy some stuff to prepare for the colonoscopy. I needed to buy some like a laxative that I didn't have yet. And I was like, oh shit, I just grabbed my keys and I ran to the store, and I was standing in line at the grocery store with like me and like, I don't know, like 7 or 8 like ladies that are just doing their daily shopping. And I noticed one lady kind of giving me a dirty look, and I'm used to it, right? Like I get it. I get it. You know, I recently did the RT podcast, and somebody said I look like I do meth at a gas station. So it's like, I get it, you know, and I'm covered in tattoos and stuff. So I am used to getting like weird looks. But then another lady gave me kind of a weird look, and I thought that's weird because this is Austin and this is my grocery store. I come here all the time. And then I realized when I moved, oh, I've got my dumpy underwear on, and I looked behind me, and I just looked like I was walking around with a fucking, like I had taken 7 shits in my pants. It was just like I had a hanging dumpy asshole, and they were just, and it was very noticeable. And I had completely forgotten that I was still wearing them because normally I take them off immediately. So I was a little embarrassed for that. Yeah,
I can't believe you're wearing those. That must be quite the contrast to all the tattoos. I feel like you've actually moved over from person who rides a bike to a cyclist.
Oh, well, here's the thing. I definitely am not a cyclist. I was wearing them, Gavin, under my pants. That's the thing. I'm not going to wear them just the shorts and look like a bicyclist asshole. No, I was wearing them under a pair of pants, which is what made it look extra dumpy. It's like if I was just wearing the cycling shorts, then they would have looked at me and said, "Oh, he's a cyclist. He's just gross." What they saw was that guy took a bunch of shits in his actual normal pants, and it's just hanging. You know, it's just all like gathering at the bottom, and it looks like it looked like my butt was melting.
So it's what? How do they have more padding? Is that how they're helpful to you?
Yeah, they have a ton
and
of padding.
They've solved the problem. Would you say it's a more effective solution than covering your ass in Tiger Balm?
Yes. Yes,
okay.
Yes, it's,
as long as we've moved forward from there.
Yes, we're not going to do that again. We've definitely we've learned some lessons there. That will not be happening again. I don't even know. Like I have, for a guy who rides his bike 6 or 7 days a week, I think I've ridden my bike 3 times in the past 6 weeks.
Oh wow.
So what's the main issue with some of your bikes?
Okay, so I have 3 bikes, right? I have my bike, I have Emily's bike, and I have Millie's bike. They're all the same bike. Mine's just a little bigger, right? But they're all the same e-bike. So I was riding mine on a trip, and I was riding my bike the other day, and well, actually, I couldn't. Here's the deal: I was riding my bike about 7 weeks ago, and I popped a tire and a spoke, and I didn't have a spoke, and so I couldn't fix it. So I called to get it repaired. Right. And then the guy was going to take the guy about a week to come out and repair it. And which is fine because I have 2 backup bikes. I have Millie's and Emily's, and they never ride theirs. Right.
Was the spoke a non-standard size?
Everything about an e-bike is non-standard. So, and complicated. So I'm like, no problem. I can wait. I have other bikes. Right. So I just hop on Emily's bike. I start riding her bike. The second time I ride Emily's bike, I'm about 7 miles from home, and it just turns off. And an e-bike is an amazing piece of machinery when it's on. When it's off, it's an undrivable behemoth that weighs, it goes from being, 12 ounces to 400 pounds.
So wait, you can't, when the little motor dies, it doesn't just become a bike?
Yeah, it becomes a very inefficient bike. Okay. Like you can pedal it, you can work it. It's got gears. It's just heavy as sin, and it doesn't work well. It's a nightmare.
I feel like you downplay the effectiveness of the bike when it's working.
No,
and
I
now when the bike doesn't work, it's like, oh my god, everything is broken. All of this stuff to assist.
When the bike,
is gone.
the effectiveness is great when it's working. I don't think I'm downplaying it. It's just that when it's off, first off, you've got like a fucking 25-pound battery. The frame is heavy. It's 3 times as heavy as a normal bike. So it's just more work than a normal bike would be when it's not on. I get that. I have a normal bike. I'm actually going to get it out of storage and start riding it again because I'm getting sick of these e-bikes. But I am still going further down the e-bike road. I'm not giving up on e-bikes because I love them. Anyway, so 7 miles away from home, it goes dead. So I have to ride it / walk it home. It's for some reason, and I swear I'm not kidding, it is any direction I ride from my house, coming back is uphill. It's like I live on the tallest, I live in the tallest point of Austin. So I ride this hunk of shit 7 miles home, take it apart. The battery just won't turn on anymore. I look, there's scorch marks where the battery part connects. I'm like, oh, I must have blown the battery out or something.
Jesus.
That sucks. Batteries, by the way, $500 to replace. So I'm like, that fucking sucks. No worries. I'll just ride Millie's bike. Thank God I have a third bike, right? The next day, I ride Millie's bike, and 6 miles away from home, it dies in the exact same way.
The battery exploded again?
It just stopped working. I walk, push it home, take it apart, look, same problem. It's scorching. I call the company. They're like, yeah, these batteries are only rated for 2 years, so we can't replace them. I've had the bikes for a little over 2 years, of course. So I'm like, fuck. Well, that's okay, because like tomorrow the guy's coming to fix my bike, and then it wasn't tomorrow. It was actually I had I'm getting it wrong. Sorry. This is a while ago. This is like 6 weeks of nonsense. I think what had happened is I had bought another battery in advance. And so then other battery came, and I was able to put it back into Emily's bike, and the new battery I was riding I was about 7 miles from home on the first ride on Emily's bike again after I put the new battery in, and it died. And so I had to push it home again. And
6 miles is no joke on foot.
No.
That's like a 2-hour walk.
It was about 2 to 3 hours, depending on, and it's all uphill too. And it's also October and November, because this is about 6 weeks. It's October and November in Austin, so it ranges anywhere from 90 to 105. Right? It's hot as shit still. I'm apoplectic at this point. I'm miserable. So it's my third or fourth time the bike I think it's the third time it's broken on me. I get home, I look at it, it's not busted. I turn it on, it just turns back on. It's fine. It just needed to be like re-shocked awake. And I'm like, well, that's fucking weird. Hopefully that never happens again. And I think I'll big brain this. I'll take the battery off of Emily's, I'll put it on Millie's, different setup, and then we'll see if it happens again. The next day, I ride my bike. This time, I'm about 9 miles from home, and it turns off.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And by the way, every single time this has happened, I need to be somewhere. I have I have an annual pass to record, or I have to pick Millie up from school, or she has a doctor's appointment. It's never a leisurely thing. I gotta like hoof it to get home. So, but I'm thinking like you try to rationalize it in your head by saying like, I'm getting double exercise today, right? Like I'm getting in shape.
Sure.
Then I'm done. I'm like, I'm not going to ride any of these piece of shit bikes anymore. I've been stranded 4 times. The guy comes to fix my bike. He fixes it. He does a bunch of work on it. I ask him about these electrical problems. In the process, waiting for him to come, I bought a whole new electrical system for my bike and a new battery for Millie's other bike, right? And I bought a whole new electrical system for my bike because of the scorching and stuff. And I thought, like, I'll just have the guy comes, he fixes my bike, the other stuff. He won't touch any of the electrical stuff. He won't touch any of the e-bike stuff. Can't find anybody who'll touch any of the e-bike stuff, right? And I'm like, okay, whatever. So I get it all. I just don't put that stuff in. I just get the bike fixed. My bike works fine. The battery never died or anything on my bike. I was just trying to be preventative, right? I was trying to get ahead of a potential problem. Hop on my bike, rides like a charm. I drive 7 miles and it doesn't explode. And I go, oh, my bike didn't turn off at 7 miles. Last time I did it at 9. I go 9 miles. I'm fine. I go 10 miles. I'm fine. And I go, okay,
oh, no.
Problem solved. I get about 15 miles away from home.
Like for half a marathon at this
I know exactly how far away from home I am because I have an app that records all my rides. How I made the fart that time. And I'm right at about 15 miles from home, and I'm on the hike and bike trail, and I'm zooming, and I have my headphones on, so I don't hear anything, but something like jars the bike a little bit, and I look, and I feel something brush my leg, and I look over to see what brushed my leg, like a stick or something, and I see this 20-pound battery on my bike shooting about 12 feet out in front of me. It hits my leg and just keeps flying. Like, it goes faster than the bike. Like, I got to pedal to catch up with it. And I'm like, I'm just in disbelief. And I look down, and there's just a hole where the battery was before it exploded. And ejected itself from my bike, clipping my leg, and it's just like hits the ground in a pile. I swerve off. I put the bike down. I walk over and I pick up the battery, and it's just like the bike exploded. I don't know how else to describe it. It's like I go back to try to put it back together. Everything is sheared. All the bolts are broken in half. The plastic casing is broken in half. The part that it connects to, where the scorching was on the other bikes, that part is melted to the battery. Like the scorching part has physically melted, like hot melted to the battery. I'm like,
shit.
What the fuck? And so I'm 15 miles from home, and I think,
I can't believe this story.
well, I guess I better get to walking. And so I figure out the bike without the battery is actually kind of light, like it's a little easier to ride. And so I'm like, I can make this work. But the problem is I don't know if this battery is savable or not, because the stuff is melted to it, but I feel like I can rip it off and I'd see if maybe the battery itself is good, or maybe I can get it refurbed, because I know that these batteries can be refurbed. And it's like $550 to replace it. So I'm like, I got to take this battery home with me. How the fuck do I do this? So I have to hold the battery in my left hand. It's like 20 pounds. Hold the steering wheel with my right hand and pedal home, at 1 mile an hour, because this bike barely goes. And I get about 3 miles, and I'm like, I got to throw this fucking battery in the river, or like, not the river, but I got to throw this fucking battery in the woods or something, hide it and try to come back for it. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. It's too, like, I just got to take this. I just fucking eat my medicine, take my medicine and just get home. And I'm about 7 miles into the trip of, I've given up on riding. I'm exhausted at this point, because holding a 20-pound heavy ass battery that's, 18 inches long and hard to, it's like, there's no way to, like, I can't set it on anything. I don't have a backpack. The only thing I can do is hold it in my hand and try and steer and pedal uphill. And I'm like at muscle failure pretty much. So I get off the bike, and at about 7 miles, and I start walking it, and I'm about 2 miles into the walk, and I have my headphones on. I'm just listening to, like, I don't know, I think I'm listening to like Polo G or some really, really loud rap. And I just sense something out of the corner of my eye. I'm on like Lamar Boulevard on a sidewalk, and I look over and I see a dude in a truck like screaming at me. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then I realize it's my friend Joey, who has nothing to do with RT. He's his friend from my girlfriend.
The guy from the boat?
The
The guy from the boat. It's the boat guy. Yeah. The fucking boat guy. The Go Now. My friend Joey. Yeah, boat guy Joey. And
Boat guy.
and he was just driving down the road, and he saw me walking a bike, and he's like, hey man, you need a fucking ride? And I was like, oh my God. And he gave me a ride home, so I only had to walk like 9 of the 15 miles. But so in 5 out of, I think out of like 7 bike excursions, 5 of them ended with me walking a minimum of 6 miles home. Anyway, I get the bike home. I fucking am angry. I won't look at it for like 4 days. Then I look at it. I see everything that's broken, and I start calling around, and nobody wants to touch this fucking bike. And I'm like, God damn it. And I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I don't like working on stuff. I grew up in Alabama in a very like mechanically minded family where, I'd drive home. I'd be like, I think something's wrong with my car, Grandpa. And he'd be like, go get the toolbox. And then my entire weekend would be me and my grandpa fixing something on the car. And which was a bonding experience for him. I hated it. I love my grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like, I was a tool repairman in high school. I hated that. Although I liked the job. I just don't like fixing shit. It just frustrates me, And so I try to avoid it if at all possible. And I couldn't. So I'm like, fuck it. And I have all the parts. So I sit down to fix my bike. It took me 12 minutes to fix this piece of shit bike. And now it works great.
So what happened though? Why did it explode?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is it like a lithium vent on it or something?
I don't know. I don't know if I just hit I don't think I could have hit a bump or anything hard enough to shear the screws in half and to break the casing. And I was going downhill on a smooth ride. So I don't know if the bike, if the battery had because it's all melted and stuff. Like I assumed that there was some sort of event where it exploded and the force of that shot it off my bike, but it didn't do any structural damage to the bike. And since I'd rebought all the electrical stuff, I had to splice some wires. I said 12 minutes. It probably took me more than that. It may have taken, God.
I just would love to
a
see,
lot longer,
like, can you imagine being a guy just jogging the other way and then a bicycle shoots a missile at you?
It was like that. It was like a 20-pound missile shooting at you. Yeah, it was brutal.
So when did this happen? How long has it been since you've had a bike issue? Did it just happen?
I have ridden my bike twice since then.
Okay.
Both times this week. So it was last week or the week before that this happened.
You're not selling me on these e-bikes, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago this happened. Well, I'm not trying to sell you on this e-bike.
You were before.
I am going to try to sell you on a different e-bike that I am currently shopping around for. I've been going to e-bike stores and talking to people and doing my research, and I've got some clues. I got some good leads on some good new bikes. But yeah, it was unbelievable. Now the bike works fucking great, of course. But it might be the most frustrated I've been. I can't even tell you. Like every time I'd get on my bike and I go like, today's the day I don't get stranded, and then just at the most inopportune moment when I'm just happy and, heading the clouds, enjoying a ride, beautiful weather, listening to music, whatever.
Hours
it's just
from
like
home.
suddenly it's like, "Arr!" And you're like, oh, fuck, here we go again.
You say the bike is working great. I assume if you were asked before it exploded if it was working great, you would have said yes. How do you know that the bike is in fact working great and you're not just like moments away from...
Well, like everything's great until it explodes.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, no, totally. I have no idea. You're right. I'm saying it's working great as of this moment, but it might not be working great in an hour. I don't know. That's why I'm buying a new bike. That's why I'm getting another better bike. I'm paying more money to get a better bike. That lasts longer. The bikes I was looking at yesterday, the guy told me they should last 10 to 11 years before I have any of these kinds of problems. I explained every problem I had. It's like I think that there's a bike out there for me. I just
for sure.
I was just at my wit's end with this motherfucker. I can't believe I had 3 bikes all break at the same time and strand me as far as 15 miles away from home 5 out of 7 times. I'm
amazed that you're willing to still ride the bike, because I think if I am sitting in a vehicle that explodes, I'm not getting back in that vehicle, even if I think I may have fixed it. I do not trust myself.
That is how dire the need for bike riding is.
What if you became a one-wheel guy?
Ooh, and I feel like there's something physically about like moving and the pedaling, even though it's
Can you ride your one wheel from home to the office?
I've not done that, but it has the range. The XR has the range.
I mean, I would be interested in the one wheel as an addition to a really good e-bike and a really good normal bike. I have one. I just need to pull it out of storage for when this kind of stuff happens again, because I've realized I don't want to stop riding. Like I still need to ride my bike. It's how I maintain my sanity. And so it's got to happen. So I need to have a backup. I thought I had 3. I thought I had a bunch of backups, but turns out I didn't. So,
because I was going to say, I feel like the last time we talked about you and your bike issues, the story ended with you saying that you had ordered a bunch of spare parts.
That was the spare parts.
Bikes.
Yeah, just for extra shit. Yeah.
It was, your tale is like Goldilocks if she just fucked up every option every time. Like it was just all 3 constantly broken. None of them were right. They were all broken in various ways.
Do you have a bike, Andrew?
No, I don't. Of any variety. E-bike, standard pedal.
If you want to go somewhere it's walkable, but you need to get there quick, what do you go for?
I leave early.
Oh, that's pretty good.
An answer.
There's never a situation in which I immediately need to be at a place where I couldn't just like, if I need a cab, I could call a cab or an Uber or whatever. It was similar. Yeah. You just drive.
Guys, we talked about everything on my list. I didn't think we
did.
would.
We? That's exciting. I'm glad we
not
went
everything.
Through your list.
Not everything. There were 3 other things. I've invented a new blow dryer that I wanted to show you guys, but I need to make a prototype for
wait, what? No, you can't be like, I finished the list and then be like, I invented a new product.
I saw the part I missed. Yeah, I invented a new product. I have to make a prototype for it. I'm very excited about it. It's for blow drying your hair on the go. I think you guys are gonna love it. I think it's gonna be a big seller for us.
Okay.
Also, one other thing, and this is This is a bit of a bummer. 2 weeks ago, Andrew, our rookies played each other
They did.
in the NFL.
They did.
The teams played. It was Najee Harris versus your guy Justin Fields.
Yeah.
And my team won, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a little touch and go for a while. I was watching it in bed, and I decided at that moment, I talked about this earlier, I'd been trying to let Najee work through his rookie season on his own without any help from me.
Mm-hmm.
But I was a little nervous going head-to-head against you. So for the first time in our Magic competition, I did some incantations and some good luck spells, did 2 different good luck spells multiple times, and, they won. Steelers won. So
And
I
Harris
think
looks
that
great.
I think the first time I felt the need to inject Magic into the competition, it worked. So I got to let you know I'm using Magic.
I hate that Gavin is currently winning this bet.
McCorkle!
That is the worst part of this. And I also hate that we didn't. I feel like if we all would have known that his name was actually Michael Jones and the McCorkle thing, I feel like that would have been the guy. Like, that's just, it's a clear sign.
It's iconic.
To like,
Also, no magic.
yeah, no matter, like, it's upsetting on several levels. I believe in Justin Fields. You should believe in Harris, Geoff. He looks phenomenal. He looks great. It's going to be tough.
It turns out the real magic is in the McCorkle.
It is. Did you see that, like, there was when they played, the announcers made like a big deal of the fact talking about, I guess, Najee Harris grew up homeless. And they told this story about how, like, yeah, when he went to college, he slept on the floor for a few weeks because he didn't feel comfortable with it. And then after the game, he was like, where did you get that from? It never happened. He's like, I slept in my bed. Why would I not sleep in my bed? What are you saying? I did
What
not sleep on the
nonsense.
floor
Yeah.
in college. But I'm upset. I'm upset that I don't feel like Fields
You better
is
start
good.
doing
It's
some
just-
magic, man.
I've been pushing Magic really hard. I've been doing I feel like the fact that Justin Fields became starter when he did, I would like to take some credit for that. I feel like I deserve a little bit.
I think that's fair.
Putting potions and magic and all that towards
What kind of magic have you cast?
it feels weird for me saying I deserve credit for it, but for putting the ball in motion, for putting those who are capable at casting such things in the direction of him playing, I feel like some credit is deserved. I feel like this show, let's not say me, this show, the people
no
of
part of it.
Chicago. Okay, well, for most of the 80% of the show deserves some level of credit for Justin Fields starting when he did. Andy Dalton being on the bench.
All I'm saying is I hiring people, enlisting help on the Magic front, I think is super valid and useful. But if you haven't already, throw some magic his way via yourself. Pick up that wand, do some spells. It worked out well when I did it.
I think I might get into that.
It's worth a shot.
I'm gonna look into that.
Andrew,
Yes.
have you noticed that your redemption year is coming to an end?
What do you mean?
Coming to
Oh
a close.
no. Well, this is a weird. No,
Is it a
it's
redemption
not.
year or
no,
redemption
it's not. No, it's
season?
not. No, it's not. Because it was the end of the first year of the podcast.
Yeah.
So the redemption year 2 doesn't end in 2021. It ends in June? I think the first week of June.
Oh, so you're halfway through the
2022.
redemption year.
So we're halfway through redemption. We're just started redeeming, Gavin.
Oh, wait,
okay?
wasn't it on your birthday that we started redeeming?
No, it was the start of the podcast. It was year 2 when we did the year the show's
okay.
been going on for a calendar year. Year 2, redemption year.
Yeah, Nick asks a great question. What's left to redeem?
Still obviously the marathons thing that needs to happen at some point. And I think that's I feel like I've gotten redemption on most things at that point. I think that kind of covers it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think pretty good about a lot of the things that, I mean, I feel like, I don't know if you guys have what do you think needs redeemed at this stage? I'd say it's about it. Say it's kind of the only loose thread at this point. I redid the salad. I think the salad cream 2.0 turned out great. I redeemed the chocolate. I redeemed the soda. Tried that again.
I can't think of a single thing you're missing here.
I think I covered everything.
Hey,
it's
I
just
noticed
the
that
marathons.
Nick is the one that told us to stop talking. Does that mean Eric's gone?
Eric seems to have left a long
I
time ago.
assume that Eric's internet dropped once again. He has been gone for a while.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful because earlier today I left a meeting early, the one where they were pranking me. I left a meeting early because I sat down to get ready for this podcast with about 30 minutes to go and had an audio conflict. And I told him in that meeting, I was like, I'm going to leave this meeting early to fix my setup. And he was like, oh my God, you and your fucking setup again. And I'm like, I know, I'm just going to it won't be a problem for the episode. I'll get it fixed. And I did. But where's our fearless producer? Having tech problems again. Ay.
Should we call him?
No. Then we'd have to talk to him. Tisk tisk, as Nick said.
We could go on forever. There's nobody to stop. We could just
We don't want to.
continue
Nick's got a family. He doesn't.
That's
he doesn't
true.
do that.
You know what? You're right. That's
What
a great
I do
point.
have one question though. I feel like a couple episodes ago, who knows when it was. We dropped a pretty big thing in the face being officially represented by a superhero. What was that guy's
Yes.
name again? The something sportsman.
Marty
Smashing
Baxter.
Sportsman.
Yeah, but the character. So I just want to point out the fact it's not. We don't want to sign a superhero. We want to sign a guy that has arthritis who is possessed
Yes.
by an alien. Technically
Yes.
not a superhero who we're getting at this stage.
And what is his superhero name again?
The Smashing Sportsman. was
Smashing
his
Sportsman, that's
character
right.
name. Yes.
So where are we on that? We talked about it and then I feel like we forgot about it.
I would love an update on it. I don't know how to push that ball forward internally. That is something that I don't know. You'd have to.
Sounds like it's on Eric. Damn,
Sounds like an
I
Eric.
wish he was here. If only he was here.
Mm.
Well, if you're related to a distant relative of the Smashing Sportsman, or you
Marty
know his
Baxter.
family in some way, Marty Baxter, or maybe if you're like the president of DC Comics or Warner Brothers, and you want to hit us up and allow us to use that character as our official superhero, we promise to do good.
Now we should probably throw it to minor league fan Jack Patillo to tell us what's coming up on next week's face.
On next week? What do you mean? Your idea was that he'd look at the images for what are you talking about?
Like we would record next week and we would let him read the chat and then he would record based on that and we stick it on this one.
I'm
So we're just gonna edit this in.
confused.
No,
So-
he's right. He's right.
Like imagine what we did today, but next week. We came up with the idea in this one, so we can't do this one.
Okay.
As long as we're always one ahead, we can.
But
Yeah.
we don't even know is what's weird about it. We don't know what's coming next week. That's why I feel
But Jack-
uncomfortable about this.
But Jack does.
Jack does that. You're right.
Or he
and then
will.
next week they can tune in and see how accurate it was.
You're right.
I think that's a fantastic idea.
We'll try it out. We'll experiment with it.
Hey guys, minor league fan Jack here to give you a preview of next week's episode of Face. Geoff gives an update on his pitching. The gang gives their thoughts on karate movies. Geoff goes on about his favorite Apple-related film. Andrew loses his mind about dark chocolate candy. Geoff returns from the proctologist and makes a shocking discovery. And once again, Andrew does not eat the pencil. All this and more on the next episode of Face.
I gotta drink so much gross water. Oh.
Good luck with your colon.
46 ounces in the next hour.
Not a lot. How much is an ounce?
It's not just water. It's about an ounce. How much is
How
an
many-
ounce? It's the
How many
amount.
cups in an ounce?
Like a Diet Coke, like a Coke can's 12 ounces, right? 16 ounces, something like that.
Okay, so like a Coke. So you need to drink what, like 3 cans of Coke, essentially?
I think it's probably closer to 4, but it's not just water. It's like a solution that's gross.
I remember when I got x-rayed, I was told it would taste like a milkshake. And that's one of the most, the worst lies anyone's ever told me. I've never felt more betrayed, especially as a child who had never had a milkshake before. I was like, I'm going to get to fucking try a milkshake today. I'm going to get some lab work done. I'm so excited. I remember the person saying when I got there, being like, yeah, you're going to have to drink this solution. And then as a kid, I remember replying, yeah, I heard it tastes like a milkshake. Can't wait. And just seeing the confusion on their face, somebody has clearly lied to you, and registering that was a weird facial response to one of the worst drinks I've ever had. It was a traumatic experience. Maybe that's why I've never had a milkshake to this day. Maybe we're going deep into the core
You've
of
never
why
had a milkshake because of that?
How
maybe.
can you drop that on us when we're ending the episode?
I feel like we've talked about the fact I've never had a milkshake. I'm sure, I'm sure it's been mentioned in a list of things I haven't done.
Nick doesn't remember it. I don't. Gavin, do you remember him ever saying he's never had a
No, I feel like I always dwell on the eggs and meatballs, but milkshake as well? I'm going to make you dinner. When I come to stay, I'm gonna cook you a 3-course meal and I'll give it to you in the bath.
Okay, you cook the meal. I will design the toilet table to make it look really nice. It'll be.
You're having eggs and meatballs and milkshakes
and pickles, right?
I've had pickles. I've tried pickles. This is not a big pickle guy.
Bananas.
Maple syrup. Bananas suck. I tried them again.
What?
I went in with an open mind.
Have you ever had a banana split?
No.
God damn, man.
Would that elevate the banana? Because I'm putting in other things, so I could see it. Because I don't have an issue with the taste. It's purely the texture.
I mean, it's pretty fucking fantastic. But you've never had a milkshake, so you won't have anything to. I don't. Gavin's right. We need to spend some time with you, putting stuff in your mouth.
Because all the time I've spent with you so far, I've apparently forgotten about. So I need some memorable time with you.
That's I don't know how that feels like an insult. That feels like a dig.
We went through that. I've just got bad memory.
That feels like a dig on the way out.
Nah, I'm gonna cook you dinner.
I thought you were about to say I'm gonna cook you a milkshake, which would be an alarming. I truly don't know how they work.
This is I'm gonna say this right now, Andrew. This is an honor that you should feel as such. Gavin lived with me off and on for years. Over the span of like 7 or 8 years, but he legit lived with me for a couple of years, like day in, day out. And I don't think he ever cooked anything for me once the entire time. He certainly ate a lot of food I cooked for him. I don't think he ever cooked me anything.
I kept an eye on the meat once while you were grilling.
So what I'm saying is, savor it. It's not often you get world famous Gavin Free to cook you a meal.
You threw a stick at his head when he was suntanning in the front lawn once. I feel like that also might have a factor.
Certainly did not, and that was toward the tail end of it. and if I did throw a stick, it might have been because the motherfucker never lifted a finger to help cook.
I like you going like full OJ on this. I didn't do it, but let me explain if I did how I would have done it.
Here's why I didn't. Here's why I would have done it.
I didn't do it, but I have plenty of motive, and let me explain to you why. Let me tell you all the reasons that I rightfully. You should give me credit that I didn't do this, because this is all of the ammo I have for why I should have.
Woo! Holy shit!
Good couple of eps.
Well, this one was pretty good. The last one I wasn't crazy about, but we've done it again.
You were annoyed.
I was so off.
You should have heard Geoff before you got there, Gavin. Oh boy, he was.
So did you piss him off before we started? Is that what happened?
I quit the podcast before we started.
Yeah, it was a bad. He was not happy.
It was just like the exact. I just like it was a perfect confluence of things. Like feeling like hammered shit. And I mean, I haven't eaten a meal in days, so I'm loopy. I know my blood sugar's all fucked up. I'm thirsty, or not thirsty. I'm just fucking. I'm like full of liquid. I'm literally like shooting piss out of my butthole like a fire hose. It's very uncomfortable. I spent 2.5 hours just on the toilet this morning before I even got up. So I'm just so diminished. And then I sit down. I have to have a quick 30-minute meeting about merch. I realize I don't have a lot prepared because I was in bed until the moment I got up to have that meeting. And I sit down and while I'm having the meeting, I'm setting up audio for the podcast, and suddenly none of it works. Even though all I do on this computer is Slack and this podcast. I don't even go in this room unless I'm podcasting. So I don't know how it all got fucked. Well, yeah. Well, it's a problem. I never wanted this to be my office because I knew when it became my office, I wouldn't want to come in here anymore because I would associate it with work. And unfortunately, the pandemic made that happen. Before the pandemic, this was I spent all my time here. Post-pandemic, I look at it and I see work. Anyway, So I sit down, and then all that shit's broken, and then immediately I'm like, all right, I'm going to have to leave this meeting early so that I can fix this so it doesn't affect the podcast. Eric's immediately yelling at me about how my stuff's always broken, and I'm like, got it. Definitely needed to hear that right now. Then I'm like, as I'm leaving, I think, oh, I'm leaving Andrew and Eric in a meeting without me. They're gonna fuck with me. And then I sit down, I finally get it all working. I sit down to start, and then they start recounting how I had already agreed to sign hundreds of items for something that we hadn't talked about. And I was just like, not doing it right now. I was like, I'm not having it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing the gaslighting thing. I'm barely hanging in here. And they doubled down. And so I was just like, I'm done. I'll be back at 2 when the podcast starts. And I just put my headphones down and I left and I came back.
Well, in that case, I'm impressed you managed to pull it back mid-episode. That makes it even better.
Yeah. I was more than anything, it was just energy and nausea, like my stomach improved a little bit, and then I wasn't feeling so sick.
Should we end this episode?
Yeah. What time we playing Halo tonight?
I feel like Geoff just gave me a huge list of reasons of why not to play Halo with Geoff right now.
What does that mean?
Well, you're sick. You're under this is a serious thing.
What else am I gonna do? I got nothing to do. I got nothing but time to sit and stare at the wall.
You want to do 7? That's 5 for you, Andrew.
Okay, maybe I'll be there. Maybe
It'll
I'll
be 8.
Maybe I'll be
when's
there.
convenient for you? We all 3 of us want to play.
Seven's better for me.
Okay, I'll do 8. I'll do 8.
I wanted to play at 7.
You can play with you know what? It's okay. No.
I'll
you
make
play
it work
at 7.
at 8. I'll make it work at 8.
You play at 7. You guys have a great time. I can show up at 8.
Why is this so aggressive? We're just making a nice plan.
No. We're having a nice plan. Why don't we do both? Because we'll play for more than an hour.
Here's what's going on behind the scenes, Gavin.
I'm going to eat lunch.
Here's what's going on behind the scenes. Andrew doesn't want to play video games with me. It's clear.
No,
that's fine.
I would love to play video games with you.
I'll be there at 8 to play with whoever wants to play. I love you guys, irrespective of how you feel about me. I love this podcast. I love you, Nick. I love you, comment leavers. I love you, regulation listeners. I love Halo. Some would say that Halo is the reason we're all here talking right now. But if you feel the need to exclude me from it further, that's fine too. Thanks for listening. See you guys next week.
See you tonight.